Hello everyone, it's Gigo here and welcome back to Anti Abner's project here in Tema Committee 25. In our previous episode, we started with the decking, with the wooden work, and Efo was the man behind it. And today's episode, we will be looking at the steel works for this project. Right, so as I shared in my previous episode, we talk about the specs of the house, which is a three-bedroom detached house. We have one bedroom downstairs with kitchen and living room, and then we have the two-bedroom, upstairs. So here is Ni, Okai, the steel bender, and our engineer brother Sami. Like I said, we are a team and we work together hand to hand. So there is no need of chasing artisans, here and there. With Google Production Group, everything is coordinated and you can deal with each artisan yourself, right? So maybe if you don't want to deal with a contractor or anything, you can just, pick the artisan that you need and deal with them directly, right? You can also create your own group, create a WhatsApp group and put all the artisans that you need in a group so that communication also becomes easy. This way you also form your own team, and that is what the production group is all about. So fast forward, Efo is done with his part of the job, so then Ni Okai and his team has to come and start with the steel works. And here we are, you have the steel workers on site. And first, we always have to start with the beams, right? We focus on the beams first, and then later, we start with the main bars, the top bars, the down bars. If there's any cantilever, we start to form all of those, right? So if you also have your decking and maybe you already have your carpenter and you need the steel benders, Ni is here. He will be there with his boys, take measurements, give you estimate. Or if you want to, maybe you're already building your house, you have your mason and everything, but then you don't have like a carpenter and a steel bender to do the decking for you. You can call FO, and then FO will be there with me and they will form the team together to get your steel works done. If you need a plumber and also electrician, also we have them. If you deal with these guys, they will bring all of them to you on site. So if you call Ni can connect you with all the guys needed for your project, right? So since we've done this several times here on the channel, like I always said, if you want more details, step by step details of decking, if you go to my Pram project, that's one of the projects that I started with this channel with. So I explain a lot in that video. If you go to the decking side, I have everything there. So then I would like to use this video, to share ideas and tips, right? So today's topics is going to be about cost of building a house, how to reduce cost of building a house. So I live in the West. Actually, I live in the Netherlands, and sometimes when I have conversation with people, I mean the youth, some of them they don't really want to come back home because they say that there's nothing there, for them when it comes to work. They cannot come and work. And also, I mean, when they come, they need to have their own places, and it is expensive to build these days, right? It is expensive buying land and also going through the house process and everything. Things are very expensive, and buying also, I mean, they don't even want to think about buying, right? So I mean, I've been having conversation with some people trying to convince them to start doing something at home, and I came up with this idea that ways of cutting down cost in construction, right? I mean, we all have big dreams, we all have ambition of building a big house and all that. I think that this was something in the past where the bigger your house, I mean, we say the more fans that you get, that's how people will praise you, because the bigger your house, that means you have money. But I don't think, I think we are, the world is shifting. And these days, the bigger your house doesn't even matter anymore. Looking at what real estate is doing in the market, I mean, who builds a house on a full plot these days to sell, right? I mean, just go on the internet, and especially this is in Africa. I mean, which real estate can you tell me that is building a house on a full plot for sale? Most, or I would say 90% of the houses you see are all on a half plot. The real estate, the communities, the mini cities that they are building, everybody is using half plot. I mean, I think the most you even get is maybe 80 by 80, right? So why don't, we the individuals, also go with that kind of concept? Right. I mean, that is what this project is about. This particular project, the owner has, I think the owner even has more than a plot, but she has decided to, have, this detached house here, right? So you going with that kind of mindset, meaning your land reduces, the price of your land reduces, and also the size of your home reduces. The bigger the house, the bigger the amount, right, needed to build the house. So you can come together. I mean, land is very expensive. You can come together and buy a full plot, which, I mean, you have to buy in a developing area. And these days, buying any land around Accra, outside of Accra, let's say 30 minutes to 45 minutes, will cost you roughly 10,000 to 15,000 or even 20,000 US dollars. You can come together, split the amount, buy full plots and divide it into two. You have a half plot, right? You having a half plot, meaning you're going to build like a mini house on it, right? So you have a story building, like example for this structure, right? You have one bedroom downstairs, two bedrooms upstairs. You have a story building, and it makes sense. If you create, a void also in there, that reduces the cost of the decking, right? That means you are not even decking the whole structure. You can also just decide to, I mean, instead of having two bedroom upstairs, you can decide to have just a big one bedroom upstairs, with all the space that you would need. If you want to put a study room there, walk-in closet, a balcony, anything you want, you can put it in there to give you that kind of luxury that you want. And the best part is that you don't have to rush the project, right? So you can take your time, do it within 10 years, 15 years. And, finally, when you are at the age where you want to come back home, it is easy to just walk in. You build it with no stress if you take your time rather than trying to get it done. You wait till something happens in the West before you want to rush and build. And I mean, then you go through so much stress. If you take your time to build with time, everything goes easy. When there's any delay or something, you don't even care because you are not in a hurry, right? So don't wait till something happens before you want to come and build. By then, things are very, very expensive and you may not afford, to do it. So whilst you have the energy now, this is the time to start.